What's going on, YouTube? Thomas L here. With Glass opening this week, since the film stars Bruce Willis, I decided to do my top 10 list of my 10 favorite Bruce Willis movies. I mean, lately he hasn't really had much stuff, but in the past he had some really interesting films over the years. So, that being said, here's my 10 favorite Bruce Willis movies. Coming in at number 10 will be 12 Monkeys. This is a really good time travel film. You know, paired off Bruce Willis with Brad Pitt. Outstanding pairing. It was directed by Terry Gilliam. Pretty good director. And in it, Bruce Willis plays the role of James Cole, who learns the hard way when he's in prison in 2030s, and he's recruited for a mission that will send him back to the 1990s. Then once there, he's supposed to gather information about a plot that that's about to exterminate the vast majority of the world's population. You got Brad Pitt, as a role of maniac Jeffrey, who who gets low in the way of corporation, and you also got Madeline Stowe as the role of a medical gatekeeper like Dr. Catherine Raleigh. It's a really good time travel film. It's really good. Like, it's pure sci-fi. Then there's also that TV show that premiered just like not so long ago. I haven't really seen it, to be honest yet, but I've heard good things about it. But the movie version is where it's at. It's really good, and definitely is one of Bruce Willis's better work. All right, coming in at number 9 is Armageddon. Now, this movie was directed by Michael Bay, and it starred Bruce Willis with a cast that included the likes of Billy Bob Thornton, Liv Tyler, Ben Affleck, Owen Wilson was in this. Who else was in this film? I'm trying to remember who else was in this. It had a big cast. It's really hard to. I mean, the cast is really huge. It's hard to really remember everyone who's in the movie. To be honest, yeah. Now, this is definitely one of Michael Bay's best work. Michael Bay did a really good job at directing this. This is more of, I guess you could say, more of a guilty pleasure, but it's pure 90s fun. I mean, if you guys haven't seen it, definitely give Armageddon a go. I think you'll appreciate it. Coming in at number 8 will be Red. Red is loads of fun. Red 2 was also good too, but I'm actually going to go with the first Reds. Now, Red, had a really good cast. Besides Willis, it had people like Morgan Freeman, Helen Mirren, Brian Cox, Mary Louise Parker, the late great Ernest Borgnine was in this. Really good cast. I mean, a movie where like old folks, come out of retirement and kick loads of butt. That was pretty cool to watch. I mean, who like Helen Mirren is in her? I believe she was like in her 60s or 70s when she did this movie, and she still kicked loads of butt. Helen Mirren was awesome in this, and Bruce Willis was pretty good. I really dug Red, and Red 2 was pretty good too. And I'll be down to see a part 3, but I don't think Red 2 did all that well to warrant during the stomach, but we'll see. Anyway, coming in at number 7 will actually be more of a voice work for him, and that will be Look Who's Talking. I love Bruce Willis as the role of the baby Mikey in Look Who's Talking. Look Who's Talking is a really cute and funny film. You got John Travolta and Chrissy Alley. The baby Mikey is just hysterical. I mean, if you want to look at it, he's kind of like a live action Stewie for Family Guy. except without the whole violence and all. Then, of course, Bruce Willis reprised his role as the role of Mikey in the sequel, which had Roseanne Barr in that. But the first Look Who's Talking, I really dig. John Travolta and Chrissy Alley was really good. Kind of, like I said, Bruce Willis as Mikey cracked me up loads of times. If you guys never seen Look Who's Talking, do yourself a favor. If it's on Netflix or wherever you can find it, give it a go. I think you'll enjoy it. Coming in at number 6 will be Looper. Now, in this, Joseph Gordon-Levitt sort of plays the younger version of Bruce Willis. This is another really good sci-fi movie. It was directed by Rian Johnson, who, did Star Wars The Last Jedi. Looper is a really fun sci-fi movie. Emily Blunt was awesome in this. You even had Paul Dano. Who else was in this? Okay, I think Jeff Daniels was also in this. I really dug Looper. Looper was a really pleasant surprise because when the film first got released, I thought it looked like a bad throwaway sci-fi action movie. But then I went to see it, and I thought it was loads of fun. I mean, Joseph Gordon-Levitt really played off Bruce Willis, really well. And I mean, who knew that Joseph Gordon-Levitt could play a young Bruce Willis really well? He was really good as a role. Coming in at number 5 is The Sixth Sense. The Sixth Sense was, of course, M. Night Shyamalan's first feature film. The Sixth Sense is terrific. It's really creepy. Bruce Willis in this was amazing. He also had good chemistry with Haley Joel Osment. You, of course, had Toni Collette. You even had that classic line, "I see dead people." That's literally an iconic line right there. I mean, if you guys haven't seen The Sixth Sense and you want a good ghost movie worth checking out, give good Sixth Sense a go. You'll enjoy it. And it was pretty cool seeing Bruce Willis in a horror movie like The Sixth Sense. That was pretty cool to watch. Anyway, speaking of M. Night Shyamalan, coming in at number 4 is Unbreakable. Now, of course, Bruce Willis reprises his Unbreakable role in Glass, which comes out this week. Of course, you had Sam Jackson. This was actually M. Night Shyamalan's follow-up to The Sixth Sense. Bruce Willis, as a role of Dunn, is really good casting. This is definitely one of Bruce Willis's best roles of his career. He plays the role of Dunn just amazingly. He really embodies that role really well. Of course, Sam Jackson as the role of Glass is just a really good casting. I mean, if you guys never seen Unbreakable, give that one a go, especially if you're planning to see Glass this week. And I mean, Unbreakable, that movie turns 20 next year. Oh boy, I feel so old. All right. Coming in at number 3 is Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction is pretty much one of my favorite movies of the 90s. Bruce Willis as the role of Butch Coolidge is pretty cool. Of course, this one also had John Travolta and Sam Jackson in it. It was directed by Quentin Tarantino, one of the best directors out there. I love Pulp Fiction. This is a really good quotable movie. And it has a really good cast. Besides Travolta, Jackson, and Willis, you also have people like Uma Thurman, Ving Rhames. Good cast. Oh yeah, I believe Tim Roth was also in this. I love Pulp Fiction. Now, granted, Bruce Willis doesn't have a big role in this, but the roles the parts that Bruce Willis had in this movie, I really enjoyed. So, yeah, for every reason, if you've never seen Pulp Fiction, put Pulp Fiction on your watch list. You'll enjoy it. Coming in at number 2 is The Last Boy Scout. Now, this movie was directed by the late, great Tony Scott and the team Bruce Willis with Damon Wayans. I really dug their chemistry. I mean, who knew that Bruce Willis could work with a Wayne brother really well, and it worked well. This movie got released in the 90s. I believe it came out in 92 or 93, around that time period. And Bruce Willis, teaming up with Damon Wayans was such good chemistry. I mean, back in the 90s, Damon Wayans did really good when came to pairing up with someone, whether it be Bruce Willis or Adam Sandler in Bulletproof, or even Marlon Wayans. I mean, Damon Wayans does really good when pair up with someone. That's probably why he's so good on Lethal Weapon, because he pairs up. He of course pairs up with people. Anyway, yeah, Bruce Willis and this is also probably one of my favorite Tony Scott movies. R.I.P. Tony Scott, gone way too soon. And Bruce Willis, like I say, him in this was really fun. And also, Bruce Willis had hair in this, by the way, so that was pretty cool. It's always rare to see Bruce Willis in a movie where he has hair in it. But yeah, if you guys never seen The Last Boy Scout, do yourself a favor, watch this movie. It's a really fun action film, and it has comedy in it too. And not to mention, Halle Berry was in this, so there's a little tip for you there. Now, my number one favorite Bruce Willis movie ever, it's a no shocker. My number one favorite Bruce Willis movie is probably everyone's favorite Bruce Willis movie, and that is Die Hard. I mean, John McClane is an iconic action hero, and it all has to do because of Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis as John McClane is awesome. And of course, you had the late, great Alan Rickman as the villain Hans Gruber. Really good casting. I believe that was Alan Rickman's first feature, by the way. That's an interesting tidbit for you. Yeah, and Bruce Willis, him as the role of John McClane, he plays that role just perfectly. Then, of course, after Die Hard, he returned as the role of John McClane in Die Hard 2, Die Hard with a Vengeance, also with Sam Jackson, by the way, as well as the last two Die Hard movies, which I kind of dug. I know lots of people, poo-poo on Live Free and Die Hard, and the other one, I really dig them. They're not as great as the original, but I still had fun with them. The only one I never really cared for is probably Die Hard 2. That's probably the worst out of them, in my opinion. But the first Die Hard is the best. And I've been hearing that we might be getting another Die Hard movie. I'm down to see Bruce Willis as John McClane again. He's just perfect as a role. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. Number 10, 12 Monkeys. 9, Armageddon. 8, Red. 7, Look Who's Talking. 6, Looper. 5, The Sixth Sense. 4, Unbreakable. 3, Pulp Fiction. 2, The Last Boy Scout. And 1, Die Hard. Now, Bruce Willis has loads of other films that he had over the years. Let me pull this resume. I know lots of people hate it, but I kind of dug that Death Wish remake. It wasn't, of course, great or anything, but it's actually, to me, it was probably Bruce Willis' better role in years, but that, of course, not really saying much. Let's see. Oh, yeah, lots of not so good stuff like First Kill, Acts of Violence, Airstrike, Reprisal. Man, Bruce Willis, oh boy. I'm hoping Glass is a comeback for Bruce Willis. Of course, he had his cameo in Split. Precious Cargo, God no. He was in the movie Vice, God no. The Prince, damn straight no. He was in Sin City. Expendables 2 he was really good in. He was, of course, in the first Expendables. Grindhouse he was in. Charlie Angel's Full Throttle. Alpha Dog he was pretty decent in. The Fifth Element is a guilty pleasure. He was in 4 Rooms. The movie North, the Rob Reiner classic. Color of Night he was in. Striking Distance. Blind Date. He's been in loads of stuff over the years. Let me leave it to you guys. What are some of your favorite Bruce Willis movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Thomas Ellis signing off.